One of the chemical water quality parameters that we measure on stream is dissolved oxygen. Dissolved oxygen is really important for the aquatic organisms that live in the streams. Just like how we breathe oxygen, fish, stream macroinvertebrates, they breathe oxygen through their gills, but they breathe oxygen that's dissolved in the water. So this is not the little bubbles that you see like in your drink. This is oxygen that's actually dissolved in this. The more oxygen there is in a stream, the easier it is for organisms to survive. Think about when you go up a mountain. The higher you go up a mountain, the harder it is for you to breathe. That's because there's less oxygen in the air. In Utah, we have water quality standards for dissolved oxygen. For cold water fisheries, the one-time minimum value should never be below 4 milligrams per liter. The average over a 30-day period should never be below 6.5 milligrams per liter. For a warm water fishery, the numbers are a little bit different. The one-time value should never be below 3 milligrams per liter, and the 30-day average should never be below 5.5 milligrams per liter. Our Tier 1 volunteers measure this using a calorimetric test similar to our pH. This is a test that uses indigo carmine. The indigo carmine will react with the amount of dissolved oxygen in the water, and then we'll compare it to a known standard. The first step is we need to go and fill up in our vial 25 milliliters of water. So we go back out to our sample location, hold it right underneath the water, fill it up once, dump it out, twice, 3 times. That way we've rinsed it, we know it's clean. Hold it up, get it right below the surface, and then you can come back out. Most of the time you'll have filled it up a little bit too much, so you need to just dump water out till you get right at the 25, right within the arrows, so right there. And then the next step is to remove one of your glass ampules. This is what contains the indigo carmine in it. And as you can see, it has a very thin point. What you will do is place it into the cup underneath the water. Now I'm going to snap the tip off. And the glass is under a vacuum. It'll suck up the water. So there you go, just broke it. Now we're going to let it react with, suck up some of the oxygen. You can already see it's already starting to react with the dissolved oxygen in there. Leave it in there for 15 to 30 seconds so it can pull up some water. And then what you want to do is take it out, and you want to mix the bubble upside down a couple times so we get a thorough mixing through the ampule. As you can see, it's already starting to turn blue. Now what we want you to do is wait 2 minutes to let it fully react. Now we've waited our 2 minutes, so we've had time for the chemicals to react, and now we're going to compare it to our known color standards. The color standards go on a scale from 1 all the way to 12 milligrams of oxygen per liter, and you can see the 1 has a very light blue color. The more oxygen there is in the water, the darker the blue color it'll turn. So what you do is, holding your test ampule in front of the standards, is to put them in front and try to match them to the color, the closest color that they resemble. You can obviously tell that this one is much darker than the 1, so just move down the line. We recommend that you hold them in front. If you put it down in here, it kind of creates a shadow and makes it look a little bit darker. So I will move this one along, and I'll try to hold this to see which color. And now we have an 8 and a 10. So this one could actually be, maybe it's actually 9 milligrams per liter. But for our Tier 1 programs, we ask that you just report it and match it to the nearest one. And I'm going to say this one is 10 milligrams per liter. So equal to this one here. 10 milligrams per liter, very healthy amount of dissolved oxygen in the stream. This is a very cold water stream. We had it at 5.5 Celsius, so the colder the water, the more dissolved oxygen that can be in there. So this stream has plenty of oxygen for all the fish and organisms that live in it. So now that we're done our test, we recommend just take your indigo carmine glass ampule, just put it in a little plastic bag or something that you carry with you, and then when you get to home, put it in the trash. We don't want to litter in these beautiful streams.